What is going on, guys? It is your boy Darion coming to you live with another video. Spotlight Sports Network. We are back, and football is back, and I am here with my NFL Week 1 picks. The matchups are great. Kickoff is tonight for the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Atlanta Falcons. This is going to be a great NFL season, great college football season. It's going to be a lot great fantasy season as that, because I am in especially a lot of fantasy leagues. So let's just get straight into it and get straight into my Week 1 picks of who's the winners and who's the losers and why. Let's go to the 1 p.m. games. You got the Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I do have the Baltimore Ravens winning this game by 7 points, just like the Vegas odds said, because I feel like with the Buffalo Bills, there's nothing they really have offensively besides LaShawn McCoy and Kelvin Benjamin. I know they got Charles Clay, but Charles Clay had been very inconsistent with his play, and I just don't know any other weapons on that team. I do not like the Bills in this game at all. I really don't like their defense at all, but I do like the Ravens and what they did in the offseason. You know, getting Lamar Jackson and getting him in the draft, and then having RG3 on the roster as well with Joe Flacco. And then you have Alex Collins at the running back with Crabtree and Willie Snead. They have a nice little high-power offense, so I am going to go with the Baltimore Ravens over the Buffalo Bills in this 1 p.m. game. And the next game that we definitely have here is the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. Now, you know the Pittsburgh Steelers is going through a lot right now with the Le'Veon Bell holding out, knowing the fact that he didn't sign his $14.5 million franchise tag, and I don't blame him for that because he's one of the best running backs in the league. But at the same time, you got to come and play. So James Conner, the backup running back, will be getting to start this week versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I like what the Cleveland Browns did in this offseason as well. You know, getting Baker Mayfield at number 1 overall, then bringing in Tyrod Taylor, Jarvis Landry, and yeah, they got it, and then Josh Gordon just came back, so it's definitely great to see where they're coming from as far as with the actual what they did last year, going 0-16. They definitely upgraded on defense. They was supposed to have Michael Kendricks, but Michael Kendricks is no longer with the team due to an investigation with the FBI for the insider trading. So, with that being said, he's not there anymore, but they do have a solid defense. But I still have the Pittsburgh Steelers still winning this. The fact because they got, you know, Antonio Brown on that side, which is one of the best wide receivers in this league. And Ben Roethlisberger is still doing it at that age, and then I have a young running back as James Conner, and then he got another few weapons with Juju Schuster and all that. So I am going to still go with Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh is going to win this game close. I think the Browns is going to give them a run for their money. I say Pittsburgh wins by a field goal. Mark my words. Mark my words. Then we definitely have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Indianapolis Colts. This is how I feel about this one in particular. Both of these teams are really not good. You know, with the Cincinnati Bengals, they could be a way better football team with the weapons that they do have. You know, with Tyler Eifert, Giovanni Bernard, Joe Mixon, and Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton has to play better as well. And AJ Green gotta have a bounce back year. He was very quiet last year to me, and that was just my personal opinion. But on the opposite side, the Indianapolis Colts definitely getting Andrew Luck back, and then T.Y. Hilton. And then now you have a starting running back with Marlon Mack, and Marlon Mack is really good. Marlon Mack is really good of a running back, knowing the fact that Frank Gore actually left to go to Miami. So I'm just really concerned about the Colts defense, but I'm not really too. I'm really more concerned of the Bengals defense versus the Indianapolis Colts defense. So I am going to go with the Indianapolis Colts in a 3-point win here over the Cincinnati Bengals. Why? Because I feel like Andrew Luck's going to have a bounce back year. He have not played in almost 2 years, and he wants to get back on that field. It actually showed that he could do what he actually can do. So with that being said, we can go with that as well. So I'm going with the Indianapolis Colts at 3 points. And the next one we do have is the Cincinnati Bengals over Miami Dolphins. The not Cincinnati Bengals, the Tennessee Titans, my apologies. Tennessee Titans versus the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Miami Dolphins really, you got Ryan Tannehill coming back. No, there's no longer a Jay Cutler there at all. And, and the Tennessee Titans, they have more offensive firepower than the Miami Dolphins does. The Miami Dolphins did pick up Frank Gore, but they did lose Jarvis Landry. So now you have a number one receiver in Devontae Parker, which can't really stay on the field because he's always injured. So as far as offensive wise, I do like the Tennessee Titans a little bit more. They got a 1-2 punch with Derrick Henry and Deion Lewis. And then you have Rashard Matthews and Corey Davis at the wide receiver position. And then you got Delaney Walker, one of the top tight ends in football, top 5 to me, top 5 or top 10 in football. So they do according to the Vegas odds, they do have the Titans winning in a 1.5 favorite, but I feel like I give them I say they win by a touchdown. I'm gonna give them a 7-point spread for that. So the Tennessee Titans will definitely beat the Miami Dolphins. I wouldn't say an actual score, but what I will say is that they will definitely get the win here by 7. The 49ers versus the Minnesota Vikings. This is a very, 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 very interesting game. And why I say that is because Jimmy Garoppolo is definitely getting a start after going 6-0, being with the 49ers in the last 6 games of the year last year, and they was on fire. They was all on cylinders, and everybody is coming back but Carlos Hyde. Carlos Hyde is in Cleveland now, and then Jerick McKinnon goes down with a torn ACL, so Matt Breida and Alfred Morris definitely has to step up in this game and help out Jimmy Garoppolo. But the Vikings, they got, Kirk Cousins. It seemed like they didn't miss a beat at all. Only thing they lost on the offensive side was their quarterback, in Case Keenum went to Denver. So me personally, the Minnesota Vikings getting Kirk Cousins for that $80 million guarantee, he got to live up to the hype. So, and that defense is pretty stout too. Their defense was top 5 last year, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great for football to watch this game here. They do have the Vikings as a 6-point spread for them winning. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than that. I think the Vikings will win by 3. The 49ers will definitely put a lot of points up. Because in week 1, every team in week 1 is still trying to figure out who they are and what their identity is. So I feel like the Vikings can beat this one, and Kirk Cousins is going to put up good numbers with Adam Thielen, Kyle Rudolph, Latavius Murray. Dalvin Cook is coming back. So that's definitely something to look forward to. I think that's going to be a great game, definitely for the 1 o'clock games. Now you got the Texans versus the Patriots. The Patriots is definitely something, it's the Patriot way for them. They just lost the Super Bowl to the Philadelphia Eagles last season. So they really looking forward to bouncing back. Bouncing back is showing what they can do on the offensive side. Now, Gronk is still there. There's no Deion Lewis. They did draft Sony Michel from Georgia. Shout out to the Bulldogs, Georgia Bulldogs. And wide receiver wise, Chris Hogan, and it's just a lot of notable receivers. Like, one thing about the Patriots, they always have receivers, but when they get their receivers, they're not like high quality receivers, but they still get the job done. Honestly, I feel like with that, the Patriots is definitely going to win this game. I don't know how Deshaun Watson is going to feel after his knee injury. I did see some flashes of him doing that where he left off at last year, but they got them as a 6-point favorite. I don't believe so. I think it's going to be closer than that. Most of these 1 p.m. games is going to be close whatsoever. Is going to be close to me. The Texans defense might get after Tom Brady. We don't know how that offensive line is. Is a little shake up with the offensive line. But Patriots, should I go with them? Nah, I'm from Philadelphia. I'm not going to go with them. I'm going to take the Texans. over the Patriots and a 3-point favorite. So I'm going with the Texans versus the Patriots. I know the Patriots is at home, is the Patriot way, but I feel like with Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins and Lamar Miller and Deshaun Watson, what he could do with his legs, awesome. I really love the fact that they could do what they could do, and now that their receivers are healthy, it makes it even more better for y'all. So I'm taking the Texans over the New England Patriots. Tampa Bay Bucs versus the New Orleans Saints. Now, the Tampa Bay Bucs, now they're not going to have their quarterback Jameis Winston for 4 games due to a suspension. No Doug Martin. You only got Mike Evans and Cameron Brate. You got a few other notable people that's stepping up in this game. And I really don't know anything about the Bucs right now. I just don't know. Defensively, they always been good. Their front seven's been great. But offensively, I just don't know what's going to happen to them. I just don't know but Jameis Winston was the force of that. And then Doug Martin was there for all those years. And then he ended up signing with the Oakland Raiders in the offseason. And he ended up leaving. And that was one of y'all top backs that y'all had in Tampa Bay. So I don't even know what the workload is going to be for the next running back coming up. So me per se, I'm going to go with the Saints here because the Saints, they had a really devastating loss to the Vikings last year in the divisional, and they felt as though they need to be in that NFC Championship game again. The Saints, they end up getting Mike Gillislee from the New England Patriots because the New England Patriots did actually release him. So you got him with Michael Thomas, and then Lattimore on the defensive side. Like the Rams have not lost much in this. They have not lost much to anybody as far as free agency, but they did upgrade in the draft. And Drew Brees is just playing at his highest point right now. I don't think it don't look like he's getting any older, but I feel like it's too much firepower. And then the Saints is at home in the Dome, and they are the 9.5 favorite, and I absolutely agree that they are a 9.5 favorite over the Bucs. I think they might win a little bit more than that. I mean, when the Saints are at home, you cannot beat them. It's hard to beat them at home. You got to play a perfect game to beat the New Orleans Saints at home, and that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So I'm definitely going with the New Orleans Saints over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And last but not least, the Jaguars versus the Giants. This is going to be an interesting game. Very interesting game. Jalen Ramsey been talking his smack all day long, all season, saying this quarterback is whack, this wide receiver is whack. I'm better than this. I'm better than that. Now it's time to put your money where your mouth is, Jalen Ramsey. And Blake Bortles, you got to have a great year on the offensive side. A lot of turnovers will definitely miss out on you. Will help you get on the bench if you keep messing up. But, I mean, you had a good year last year, but now you don't have Marquise Lee. Marquise Lee went down with a torn ACL, and now he's gone. So what's going to happen with that? I really don't know. But they need to go in off season, and I mean not off season, go in free agency and get them a wide receiver. I mean, Dez Bryant. Why not? Get Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant want to come there. He want to help out. So Jacksonville Jaguars, y'all definitely got to do that and try to get him in your building. Now, as far as the Jaguars defense, the Jaguars defense is stout. They were stout all last year. They have great shutdown corners. They have a great front seven. Man, now it's going up against a upgraded New York Giants offensive line. Then they signed Saquon Barkley. Odell Beckham's coming off the injury. No Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall went over to the Seahawks. Evan Ingram. So they do have the firepower there to make this a great game. Just my concern with the New York Giants is that can they block Eli Manning? Can they block for Eli Manning? That is my only problem there because they allowed a lot of sacks last year on Eli Manning, and Eli Manning could have got hurt. That's what happened with the Andrew Luck situation. They're not blocking for him, so he keep getting hurt. So now that's the question for Andrew Luck's team and Eli Manning's team. Can your offensive line block for you, or Saquon Barkley can take that workload off of you and then help Odell get one-on-ones over the top. So when you bring eight 8 men in the box. You just don't know. You just don't know. But there's a lot of things that go into that. But I am going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars just because of their defense. I just want to see the matchup with Odell Beckham and Jalen Ramsey. That's going to be a very entertaining matchup to watch. But I am going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars by 3 points in the Giants home opener. So, I want to get into this. I do want to get into this. The kickoff is tonight, y'all. The kickoff is tonight. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Atlanta Falcons. Kickoff is tonight. Oh my God. It's going to be crazy in Philadelphia. It's going to be crazy in my city tonight. They starting the parade at Penn's Landing. The Falcons is coming into town again after the divisional playoff game. In the way they lost that game, they want to bounce back. They want to come into Philadelphia and spoil the party. That's just what it is. That's just what it is with Julio Jones, adding Calvin Ridley to your offense. They have Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman as your running backs with Austin Hooper and Matt Ryan. Follow up the Mohamed Sanu. The firepower is there. The question is, can Steve Sarkisian can actually put this offense together and make them what they were when they went to the Super Bowl? That's just what it is. The defense has upgraded too. They have a young front seven, and the young front seven is playing fresh. They playing new. They playing to the ball, and they play great in the in the preseason. So, with that being said, I mean the Philadelphia Eagles had on the flip side, the Philadelphia Eagles had it different. They had it a little bit different, knowing the fact that they struggled a lot with the first team offense. In the preseason, I think they only won one game in the preseason, and Nick Foles didn't look great, but he does get the start due to the fact that Carson Wentz is not cleared to do anything physical yet, so they're really being cautious with Carson Wentz at this time. But the Eagles' defense is always stout. They brought everybody back but Michael Kendricks and Vinny Curry. I think they're the only two that actually left the Philadelphia Eagles. But everybody's coming back as far as Bradham and Flexer Koch. And then they picked up Michael Bennett. So getting rid of Vinny Curry leaving, then getting Michael Bennett was an upgrade. Don't get me wrong, Vinny Curry was a great player, but Michael Bennett is one of the best that's doing it right now. So just with that alone, I am going to go with Philadelphia in this game. They do have Philadelphia as a 2.5 favorite. I actually agree with that. It's going to be less than 3 points or 3 points or less. I think this is going to be a great game. It might end the same way that it did, but you just don't know in these kickoff games. Just look at last year's. Look at the year before. The Super Bowl champs lost in their home opener. It's going to be crazy in Philadelphia. The band is going to come down. They're going to get their rings today. It's going to be a great kickoff show. It's going to be a great kickoff show. So let me know what y'all think about these picks. Let me know what y'all think about them. Comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. It's the Spotlight Sports Network. This is my NFL Week 1 picks for 1 p.m. games and the tonight's game, the Thursday night game. In the next video, it'll definitely be the 4 p.m. games and the Monday night games. So I'll see y'all in the next video, and subscribe and like the channel. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.